In today's video, I want to go over a newly revealed PlayStation 4 RPG called Mistover. This one isn't being highlighted at all at this point, however, it is one with a very captivating art style, some interesting gameplay, and a really cool presentation style to round things out, so I definitely want to highlight that. Outside of that, CyberPunk 2077 will be getting a gameplay livestream very soon. It is set for August 30th, and it'll be featuring a 15-minute edit of what is being shown at Gamescom 2019, so if you're eager to see more CyberPunk 2077, you're gonna have your chance to see more of it. Also, No Man's Sky has been taking the gaming world by storm with the release of its most recent update in No Man's Sky Beyond. It is, of course, a pretty expansive update, adding a ton of new content, and now it is getting a brand new release. No Man's Sky Beyond is getting a physical release on PlayStation 4 next month. Now, it's a little bit interesting given that Beyond was a free download, so is this release really important? I'll go over why you should be eyeing this release if you have yet to buy No Man's Sky. And first up, as I mentioned at the top, we have to talk about this new turn-based RPG that has been revealed for the PlayStation 4, and that is Mistover. It'll be launching on October 10th, and it is touting 40 hours of expeditions in 5 distinct regions. It's a turn-based RPG being priced at $29.99, and it's being developed by Krafton Game Union. The game's story surrounds the unexpected appearance of the Vortex. Pillar of Despair unleashed dreadful creatures that brutally raided the world. Defenseless and vulnerable, mankind was soon on the verge of extinction. When all hope was lost, a miracle happened and the creatures suddenly vanished. Desperate to prevent the next invasion, the survivors created a group called the Core that journeys into the Vortex from whence the creatures emerge. You will lead the Core to reveal the secrets behind the incidents. Will the human race succeed in changing the course of their destiny? In the midst of the Vortex Pillar of Despair, you will constantly be dealing with internal conflicts between satisfaction and greed. Limited visibility will hinder your exploration. Utilize skills and create effective formations to achieve victory. Don't forget, even your best crew members have only one life, so you have to play very strategically. Upgrading gear is not the only way to win. It also notes contains 40 hours of expeditions in 5 distinct regions. As we noted, turn-based RPG with a twist. It can change based on your actions. Maps are always changing. Practice different strategies in order to survive. Build an invincible core by combining and strategizing with 8 different core classes. Learn new skills and upgrade equipment to enhance your members. The mist influences everything that happens in the game. Your strategy will reshape the fate of mankind and lead the kingdom into the misty expedition. I feel like this is a game that just right away when you look at the game and you look at the presentation, it's got such a unique look to it that it's hard not to be relatively captivated by it. It will be released in October, and again, coming at a pretty decent price point of $29.99. I think this is a game that a lot of people are going to have some inherent interest in. Unfortunately, it is being released right around the same time as a bunch of other major titles. Again, it's October 10th, and that's right around the time of major games like Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and a bunch of other games are being released right around the same time, and even the month prior and the month after. There's just so many games coming out this fall that a game like Mistover might get lost in the shuffle a little bit, but one I would definitely say to keep on your radar, add it to your wish list, and it might be one worth picking up at the very least on a sale. Next up, CyberPunk 2077 is a game I think the majority of gamers are already sold on, but for whatever reason, if you want to see more gameplay of the title, a live stream is set for August 30th, and it'll be featuring a 15-minute edit of what is being shown at Gamescom 2019. CD Projekt Red will host a CyberPunk 2077 gameplay live stream on August 30th at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 8 p.m. CEST, where it will unveil a 15-minute edit of what it has been showing to journalists at Gamescom 2019 this week, and then interview developers from the studio for additional insight. They noted expect a lot of insight into the thought process behind the creative decisions, information about one of the districts of Night City, and tons of stuff on playstyles you'll be able to adopt when you launch Cyberpunk 2077 next year. Of course, Cyberpunk 2077 is due out for PlayStation 4 on April 16, 2020, going into E3 this year. The one thing I wanted to hear out of Cyberpunk 2077 was at the very least a release window, and they went one step further and gave me a release date. That release date, of course, April 16, 2020, still a little bit ways away. However, now that I know when I'm going to be able to play this game, my hesitancy, my skepticism on the game has completely subsided. I don't even need to see any more of the game. I'm completely sold on it. It's done by CD Projekt Red, the same guys that brought us The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. That game was tremendous. The prior Witcher games were tremendous, and what I've seen of Cyberpunk 2077 at this point has looked incredible, and I think the majority of gamers are on board with me that we're already sold on the game. But hey, if you want to release more gameplay intermittently during these big events at Gamescom, we know that the game is being shown off, and it is a little bit lame that all gamers weren't able to see it, but now, August 30th, we're gonna get some more gameplay of Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm sure the game is continuing to shape up really nicely. Hopefully, as we get closer and closer to that April release date, we just don't hear anything about a delay. This is a game that I'm really hoping isn't one of those titles that they just delay into the fall so they could release a PlayStation 5 and next Xbox version at the same time. I know at some point that is gonna happen. You would have to be kidding yourself if you don't think that there's gonna be a Cyberpunk 2077 definitive edition or whatever the case may be on the PS5. That's absolutely gonna happen. But let's just get the PlayStation 4 version out on that April 16th release date and I'll be very happy. At least for now, in the near future, you can look forward to the gameplay livestream that is set for August 30th. Alright, moving on from that, the talk of the gaming town recently has been on No Man's Sky. Of course, it has gotten a pretty major update, I should say really major update, in No Man's Sky Beyond that has added so much content to the game. A robust online component as well as PlayStation VR support headlines the updates added to No Man's Sky. But now No Man's Sky Beyond is coming to the physical realm. Hello Games founder Sean Murray noted in a PlayStation blog post, "Launched last week, Beyond is our largest and in some ways most important update. It massively expands multiplayer and increases the capacity for social interactions in a major way. On top of this, the whole game is now playable in fully realized VR. It also delivers a whole load of new features, large and small, which come together with the two other pillars to form what we call No Man's Sky version 2.0. Of course, version 2.0 is a big deal, given that going back to 2016, No Man's Sky was just not a very good game and really fell flat in a lot of aspects. With No Man's Sky Beyond, it has legitimately become what many would consider to be a new game with all of those features that many of us were expecting going into the release of No Man's Sky, and honestly a lot of features that we didn't. VR was never something we expected from the get-go, but now it's implemented into this version of the game, and that is great. Murray also notes that Beyond is our attempt to bring all of the strands of No Man's Sky into a more cohesive whole and to fill in the details so that no matter your playstyle, no matter whether you're a newcomer or veteran, it is an instantly accessible world and one that makes sense. It seems only fitting that we should bundle up all of these 3 years of updates, remaster the game, and reissue it on a shiny new disc. We're super excited to tell you that a physical version of No Man's Sky Beyond will be available to buy in North America on September 10th and in Europe on September 11th. Now, why this is important is because No Man's Sky physical copies, I don't know if you guys have realized, it's actually kind of difficult to find a physical copy of No Man's Sky. I don't know if they're not printing them anymore or whatever the case may be. They really have no reason to print them because if you do have a lot of interest in the game, you're probably going to go the download route anyway, but nonetheless, to see the game reprinted in the form of No Man's Sky Beyond, you've got some cool new box art, you've got PlayStation VR prominently promoted as well. I think this is a great idea from a marketing standpoint. And No Man's Sky version 2.0 will be dropping on September 10th in the physical realm. No Man's Sky is a game that I've constantly been suggesting you guys to go back and play, especially during this period over the summer where it's been a little bit dry. I know game releases are picking up, but if you're one of those people that maybe you played No Man's Sky all the way back in 2016 and you were kind of off-put by it, if you want to revisit the game, now is a great time to do so, because even with Beyond, even after all of the free updates, it's not like Hello Games and Sean Murray are going to quit on this game. Yeah, there are going to be more updates rolled out to the game, and yes, are there issues here and there? Absolutely, but the game is far, far superior comparatively speaking to where it was in 2016. I remember playing the game in 2016, I remember dropping $59.99 on it, and I was incredibly disappointed. At this point, you can get No Man's Sky significantly more cheap than $59.99. You can usually get it for like 20 to 30 bucks, and you've got all of these updates. It's a far more robust experience, and it is consistently getting updates as well. Now, it wasn't noted what No Man's Sky Beyond is going to be released at. It could very well be $59.99 because I do believe on the PlayStation Store, the game is still retailing for $59.99. It just goes on sale all the time, so if you pay $59.99, that's kind of a dumb move. But with all of these updates, I could see this re-release being $59.99, but with Black Friday right around the corner, I probably wouldn't pick it up right now, especially with all of the other games coming out. If you're dropping $59.99 on a game, you might as well do it on a game that is recently released. Even though NMS has gotten all of those updates, I do expect it to be down to that $30, $35 range by Black Friday for the physical copy as well. That's just my 2 cents if you're looking to save a little bit of money and be a little bit strategic with which games you buy this fall. And with the September 10th release, sandwiched right between the release of Borderlands 3 and Monster Hunter World Iceborne on the same day as Greedfall, so a ton of games surrounding No Man's Sky Beyond's physical release. Just thought I would give you guys my 2 cents on that, and that is going to conclude this video. Again, the turn-based RPG in Mistover is a game that I think is really going to get lost in the shuffle, but I hope for some of you guys, you can add this one to your wish list and you can keep keep an eye on it, and maybe it'll be a game you even check out on release day on October 10th. It is being released at a budget price point of $29.99, and I think this is one that's going to end up surprising a lot of people. Cyberpunk 2077 is a game we have incredibly high expectations for, but it's a game that's also not going to be out for quite a while, not until April 16, 2020, but come August 30th, we are going to get a new 15-minute edit of what is being shown at Gamescom right now. And lastly, No Man's Sky Beyond is getting a physical re-release. That is really cool. All of the content on disc, so that's going to be very nice as well, and that'll be dropping on September 10th. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.